Welcome back, everybody, to Just the Tips, Dodgy Punts, Just the Tips, live here on YouTube. My name is Liam. Who's that over there? Who are you, mate?
Bill. No, I'm joking. It's Jesse. If you don't know that by now, you're an idiot. Hello, welcome back to Just the Tips. We've rolled straight into this bit of inside baseball. We've literally finished recording the main pod all of 33 seconds ago. It's like that quick Trent Alexander-Arnold corner for Liverpool. Just quickly fire it and then just get straight into it. I like it. It's likeable. We've got games to talk about. But we have less games to talk about, Liam. Why? Because it's the buy rounds. I was going to swear then, but I remember it's YouTube and we can't do that.
No, don't swear. They'll get mad at us. No, good boy. Good boy. Yes, we got buys this round, mate. We got
take
buys.
Away our toys.
We don't want that. We want to be able to talk about. We want to be able to talk tips with you all because we know how much you love to hear about our tips. And here is the tally between. This is just like a little competition between Jesse and me. Like what we do in this is very rarely what we do outside in our actual tipping competitions. But that said, maybe this might be useful for your tipping competition. Probably not. But follow us along anyway for this competition. Jesse with 8, one shy of a perfect round last week, now on 67. I got 7, but that puts me back to 64 and 3 points behind Jesse once again. Means I'm going to have to start getting crafty again. I got too crafty last week. A little bit too crafty, but that's okay. But
if
round 12.
Been a coward at Richmond, I'd be 4 ahead.
You'd be 4 ahead. That's right. I do not apologize for that non-call on my part. No, it was a call. I chose to stick with Essendon, and I stick by that. But we got round 12. Like you said, Jesse, we got the buys. The buys are back. The buys are back in town. Who's sitting this week out? Who's out first?
Having a blogs this week is Brisbane, North Melbourne, Sydney, and GWS. Mm-hmm. Why are we doing this again? There's 18 teams. We don't need... Give everyone the week off.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Let the state leagues have something for the week. Like, I don't care what you do. Just stop the staggered buys. It's awful. Like, I genuinely hate it.
That's true. I agree. 1 week off as well. Like, if you just have one massive week off, I mean, just think of all the advertising revenue, Jesse. Come on, mate. It's all about the money.
But you know what they could do? They could do buy round into gather round.
Okay.
Give us a break from the gimmick round palooza at the start of the season and put gather round in after the buy round and actually give us something interesting.
Allow people to get over to enjoy whichever place is holding the gather round before the week of footy. It's a great idea.
So Adelaide.
Correct. I didn't want to say that in case they change it, which they won't for a little while. But it is buys, Brisbane, North, Sydney, GWS. We won't have to talk about them this week, but who do we have to talk about, Jesse?
We have to start at Adelaide Oval on Thursday night footy. Fair few marquee time slots at Adelaide Oval this season. I'm a fan of that. Beautiful ground. It's Port Adelaide taking on Carlton. This, on paper, should be a great game. Liam, before we get into the tips, not only are you losing overall, you lost the round, so you get to choose here. Would you like to take first pick of the first tip or second pick of the first tip? Noting how tactically important that does become in this one-on-one competition that we have.
Do you know what? Only because I definitely, when it comes to strategy, I'm usually fly by the seat of my pants. Is it seat of your pants or seam of your pants? It doesn't matter. I am going to, that's what I thought too. I said it last week on the pod and it sounded wrong. So thank you for clarifying that I was correct. I'm going to actually defer. I'm going to defer to you for round one, for game one, sorry.
You're a coward. This is why you're losing the competition. You won't make decisions.
No, I will make a decision once you've made yours.
Whatever. Port Adelaide in the first game of the season. I'll go first. Up yours, Liam. I'll take the initiative for our viewers because they want some good tipping here. I'll give them that. Port Adelaide at home for me. I mean, really, Port Adelaide at home is just about all you need to know for this. Carlton got the win over Gold Coast they desperately needed, but I still have my reservations. Yes, this is an absolutely premium game for Port Adelaide to drop. They seem to drop at least 2 of these every year. Games they absolutely should win. Weirdly at home a lot too, but confidence-boosting win. They're in good form. I think pound for pound, they might have a better list than Carlton at the moment. I know that's a high mark given how good Carlton are list-wise, but Port are up there too, so I'm happy to tip them to start off the round. Liam, you're replying to this week, if you hadn't figured that out already. What's your take?
My take is that I was kind of hoping to see if you'd go Carlton, because I also think that Port Adelaide is going to win this particular game. They're too strong at home at the moment. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close and hard-fought contest. It's going to be a good game to watch, I'm hoping. We've said that a few times this year, and the game's been utter bullshit. So I think Port Adelaide at home will be too strong for Carlton. And that's all. You said it all so well yourself, Jesse. What else is there for me to say?
Very little. Moving on to Friday night footy. If Thursday night's a blockbuster, this is a game of football that will legally exist. And that is Collingwood versus the Western Bulldogs under the bright lights of Marvel Stadium. Another Collingwood home game at Marvel Stadium.
I thought it was the MCG.
Not according to my notes.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's double check, because that sounds weird if it's at fucking Marvel again. It isn't Marvel. What the hell? Isn't that the Bulldogs' home ground? What's going on?
Yes.
Well, that's bizarre. Okay, whatever. Whatever, AFL, you weird bunch of people. Well, like I was saying in the podcast proper, I think Bulldogs are playing some good footy. And Collingwood are fine. Like, I think their start of the year, toing and froing has kind of settled now into being a team that's pretty good. I think they'll still be too strong for the Bulldogs, so I'm going to go with the Pies for this particular game. Jesse?
I wish we were doing this before or after teams have come out, because I would love to know if Lob was playing. I'm going to tip the Bulldogs here, who are not a team that I'm not a team I'm very hot on, but Collingwood are injury ravaged at the moment, and losing both Myercheck and Cox is going to massively alter their structure. Massively. I forgot
about that. In saying that,
that's right. You've already picked your tip. Too late. In saying that, Collingwood winning would not surprise me. So this is definitely a risk for me tipping against Collingwood here. Given that A, I'm not necessarily sold on the Bulldogs, as we talked about in the main pod, and B, Collingwood, they're a very good side.
Mm.
But I'm just about prepared to take the risk, given how they are in the clump together. They're clumpettes. Clump pals, clumpets, if you will.
Clumpets, yeah.
So, yeah, I think just given the context of this competition, Liam, what we're doing, and, the fact that they're not maybe too far off with the injury list at the moment, Western Bulldogs. Just going to try something here.
Try it out. You've got a few tips up your sleeve. You can do that. Go on. Have a tip.
Will you give me two if I tip the Bulldogs?
No. Oh. No. You understand. I've been very clear about my understanding.
I'll get you around 22 when you're 5 behind and you need something.
Oh, no, 100%. 100%.
4 points for North. They could beat Sydney. You could do it.
I will take that. If I'm down by 5 at the very end, I will definitely take that bet, because what have I got to lose? That's a smart play. It's a smart play. Anyway,
yeah, we have to enter about round 8, and just defend.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. Just park the bus.
Yep.
Moving right along, shall we?
I think we shall. On to Saturday football, starting with Hawthorn versus Adelaide at the MCG. I'm going first here, and I am going to our official 2024 Vibe Cup premiers, Hawthorn. They're up and about. They're winning games. Yes, Adelaide get a massive confidence boost off their win against West Coast on Sunday, but look at Hawthorn's form. Like, go through it properly. Beat Brisbane. Almost beat Port. Really should have beat Port. Beaten the Western Bulldogs. Beaten St Kilda. They're playing well.
Playing very well.
Adelaide, these guys are clumpets together. They're in the same clump. Hawthorn have beaten 2 fellow clumpets in Brisbane and St Kilda.
Yeah.
You love clumpets, don't you?
It tickles me, yes.
3 clumpets. The Bulldogs are in that clump as well. They've been 3 clumpets. And they took Port, who are definitely not a clumpet of theirs, to the last seconds of the game. They're playing well. Mm-hmm. Hawthorn for me. Liam, you?
I am going to... You know how much I love Hawthorn this season. I love watching Hawthorn. But I don't know. I've also got a feeling... I mean, their vibes are going strong at the moment. But my vibes are also telling me that something's about to go pop. And so I reckon that this is going to be a down game for them. I reckon they're going to have a bit of a funny one, and I'm going to go ahead and tip Adelaide, who I think have the tools to play well. They're very similar kind of teams, I would say, at the moment, obviously in ladder position and also in terms of what they are capable of doing. I I would not be shocked and I would be very happy if Hawthorn were to win. But I think for this one, I'm actually going to go for Adelaide. A, because I want to see if I can get one back on you. And B, I think in terms of the rest of the games, it's probably the most likely for me to kind of get one back is right there. So I'm going for Radelaide.
Fair enough. Moving on to the Saturday afternoon game here in the West. It is West Coast versus St Kilda at Optus Stadium. You're up here, Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going with and why?
It's a no-brainer. It's West Coast at home. That's where they play the best footy. The fans get around them.
2024 West Coast versus 2003 Brisbane. West Coast.
Who wins? Yeah, West Coast at home for sure. Did 2003 Brisbane have Harley Reid? I didn't think so. No. I'm gonna look. I did it last week, and I shouldn't have, but I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna stick my tip in with the Western Coast and Eagles and West Coast Eagles for me. Jesse.
First of all, what's my one rule of football tipping, Liam?
Never tip St Kilda.
Avoid it at all costs if you can. I wouldn't say never, because they have to play North at least once a year. But you avoid it when you can. Who would have thought these two would be clumpets?
True. Not me. I think most people thought that Saints were going to be further up than this, but hey, here we are.
And even West Coast being further down.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, would have thought they were down battling North Melbourne.
It's not just numerical position, it's actual points differential too. So it's not looking good for St Kilda. I'm tipping West Coast at home. They seem to regenerate with the sun on their backs here in Perth. They're going better overall, I think, as well. I mean, you take out that weird gas league game on Sunday against Adelaide. They're playing good footy. Happy to tip them. I think they can get the job done. Harley Reid, don't argue, 43 players on the way to a goal with Dwayne Russell screaming all the way from Melbourne.
Oh, my God. What did he say last week? He said something very religious in relation to Harley Reid, and I was just like, all right, you gotta calm yourself down. I wish I could remember. Do you remember what he said?
Well, he said Harley Reid's mob yesterday, referring to West Coast at 3/4 time. That was terrible, and I hated every second of that sentence. That's.
I'm not going to try and remember it, but it was something like biblical, and I was just like, okay, you got to calm the hell down, my friend. Calm the hell down. Let's move on.
He's walking on something about water turning into wine.
Yeah, something about water turning into wine. Yeah.
Just stick to moves like Jake and Dwayne. That was funny. Saturday night's game is Geelong versus Richmond at Kahumba Stadium. If a Geelong falls 4 times in a row, twice a week at Kahumba, was anyone around to see it? Yes, I was. But Liam, this could be an interesting game here. If Richmond turn up like they did last week, we have a game on our hands. If Geelong be Geelong, we probably don't have a game on our hands. So I'm tipping Geelong. They've got to snap. They've got to snap the runabouts here, don't they?
Yeah, 100%. Like if they don't beat Richmond this week, then I would be panicking slightly. Panicking. Geelong for me. I think that should be the biggest no-brainer of the round so far. So Geelong for me.
Up to Alice Springs for Sunday afternoon football because, as you know, West Australian teams don't travel to obscure locations enough. It is Melbourne versus Fremantle. I mean, at least it's technically closer. But if you find me a plane that's going to have 12 business class seats on a flight to Alice Springs, then I will start my own airline.
I also wonder if there's actually direct flights to Alice Springs from Perth.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Is there?
I think there is.
All right.
But I'm not sure if it's with
the prop jets. Sorry, man. Prop jets taking the whole.
You just got to demonetize on this bloody platform. That's an aircraft. Who runs this thing? Not Elon.
Monetization on this little thing so far. Not yet, Jesse. We'll work towards that. But right now, we are in no danger of any money coming from this. But we'll get there. We'll get there one day. Who knows? Just you see. Who's first? You? Me? Me?
You're up
you.
first, yeah?
Me? You? Me? You? Have we ever played Alice Springs before? I don't think we have, right?
We've played Melbourne and Alice before.
Have we? Must have been a really good game.
I was dreadful. I hated every second. I think we won, and I still think I hated it.
I think that's what this game's going to be too. I think it's going to be a terrible game, but we're going to win it. 3-0 for me.
Yeah. Funnily enough, me too. I wasn't particularly impressed by Melbourne last week against St Kilda. Going back to West Coast the week before, I don't necessarily think they're going amazingly. This is the right time to be playing Melbourne if you're a team in that middle clump. Excuse me, that middle clump. So happy to tip Fremantle on that basis. Not sure who travels though. That's going to be quite interesting team selection wise. What Lemieux does, given what we talked about in the main pod, Liam, with guys like Fife and Walters potentially needing the rest. Draper even potentially needing the rest too. So not sure what happens there. But that's 11 o'clock on a Sunday, Liam. Our favourite time slot.
I know. I'm keen. I'm keen to get up and watch that game.
I'll see you there. Book the train tickets.
Book the train tickets, yeah. What's the Garn across to Adelaide and then whatever gets you up to Alice Springs from there. Let's go. We probably should have left a week ago for that to happen. Let's wrap it up, Jesse. Let's finish off this bad boy.
Wes, we have a game at People First Stadium on Sunday afternoon as well. Speaking of People First, this is aggressively off topic, but SoFi Tucker, who sing Purple Hat, are performing in Perth on September 10. So that's fun. I think I might get a ticket because that'd be quite entertaining to hear Purple Hat
for that one song.
Just leave. Hey, they've got other songs too, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. If they're having concerts, Jesse, they're not going to come out for one song and then finish out. That would be funny.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Maybe we'll have to do as a Dodgy Punts season celebration party. Liam, head to SoFi Tucker at RAC Arena. But we'll talk about the game at hand, which is Gold Coast versus Essendon. Gold Coast are favourites for this game. That's really stupid. I'm picking first here, Essendon. Liam, who are you on?
Look, I won't lie, Jesse. You kind of glitched out through most of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that you asked me who to pick, and I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to pick. It's People First Stadium. It's People First Stadium. So Gold Coast don't lose at People First Stadium, and as well as Essendon are going, Gold Coast. Gold Coast. I'm going to stick with them. I think Essendon are playing well, but I think Gold Coast is a formidable game no matter who they're playing this year. So I'm going to stick with the Suns.
We have a few different this week, Liam. That is all for the Just the Tips edition of the Dodgy Punts AFL podcast for round 12. My God, we've done the dozen already this season. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, telling your friends, family, pet sitter, house sitter. People have weird things. Plant sitter, is that a thing? I don't know. We'll go with it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.